Live. Hey, it says live.
Okay, now I go back to the live stream.
Yep.
And pause it.
Yes, definitely pause it.
Oh, there we go. All right, so I got to put that on the other side so that I can actually see the chat.
Zachary O'Neill says hello.
Hey, Zachary. And Danos, oh, they're pouring in. All right, and I lost. Oh, there it is. Nope, where'd it go? Crud.
Sorry, guys, we're just getting situated here.
Yep. And I am not. Would you stop filling the full screen? I'm just sliding you over a little bit. There we go.
Perfect.
All right.
Crazy Kid says good evening from a fellow Mainer, Danos Dive. Welcome, Daniel Masige. Hello. Says hi from Minnesota, and Scrapping Crash says hello. Good to see you, buddy. And we're caught up.
There we go. All right. Yeah, this screen is. Yeah, two screens is going to be so much easier. I can't see how many people are in the chat.
Two screens are definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
Why you guys have a little pumpkin pie?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm still struggling with this a little bit. I can't see how many people are actually in the chat.
Right now, there's 15.
Wow.
And you can see that in the bottom right-hand corner of your Google Hangouts window.
All right. Every time I touch that box. All right. And now Bob's gone. Where'd Bob go? There he is.
I'm here.
All right. There we go. I think we're good. I think I'm good. I think we're good. Hey, folks, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this live stream number 2. All righty. So, happy late Thanksgiving to you as well, Vix Auto Glass. And hey there, Pete Hensley, Vix Auto Glass, Danos Dive, Scrap and Crash. Awesome. So, we got a little crew building up here.
Yep.
All right. So, I mean, just if you get to know a scrapper, they can find you a screen for free. Yes, I do have a screen. I just haven't hooked it up yet. I've
got a screen he can have too.
Yep, I'm good. It's right here. See? I'm just better at taking stuff apart than setting it up. So, there we are. Let's stick that right behind me here. All right.
How is everyone doing tonight?
They're quiet. That's how they're doing.
Well, it takes 5 to 7 seconds for them to see that. And
I know that it's funny because sometimes
5 to 7 seconds to get their response.
Right. Sometimes I'll be watching like one of your live streams, and the other night you made a comment like, he'd give the shirt off his back, and I'm like, yeah, it's a big shirt. I could give it to like 3 people, but by the time he got to it, it was like 3 minutes later, so it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, that happens a lot. People, take what you say out of context because they're behind in the chat.
All right, so we got Daniel M, and we got Scrapping Cash, Delago, Crazy Scrapping Kid. Cold May night, it certainly is, but at least that's a lot warmer than it was on Thanksgiving Day.
Delago, welcome.
Justin Witt, sitting here tearing apart a laptop. Nice.
Sweet.
Yep. We got, well, I've cleaned up a little bit because I had family over, but this back table here was all filled with all kinds of cell phones and stuff that I was ripping apart. So,
Pete Hensley is enjoying his 4-day weekend.
Yes.
AU Pack Mule, it's good to see you. Faye Saba, welcome.
Moose, have you looked into the Mount Baker setup any further? Yeah, I had a conversation with the guy from Mount Baker Mining and Metals, like 4 or 5 years ago. And it's a beautiful setup. A crusher that would break everything down to like less than 100 mesh. And then a shaker table to sort all the metals out. That would be awesome. The problem is that one, it's exceptionally loud, and I live in a very small neighborhood, so probably wouldn't go over well with the neighbors, and it definitely would not fit in my garage. So, but I mean, it is a beautiful setup. How's the weather out there? I heard you guys get a lot of snow right now. I'm in Rhode Island, and we ain't got nothing yet. Well, we have snow. What is it this year in southern Maine? So far, it's been like the 9th most snowfall in the last 30 years or something.
Well, it's weird. You know, think about this too. We had a lot of rain prior to getting our snowfall.
Yes.
You only imagine if that was snow, we would have feet, not inches on the ground.
Right. And we're supposed to get 3 days of rain this week. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's hopefully it'll get rid of all the snow we have.
Right. Vic's Auto Glass, it's good to know that you're from Rhode Island or in Rhode Island. I'm actually from Rhode Island myself. Curious to know what town you're in. Patrick Combs says, hi, you moose. How are you? We're entering summertime down under.
Nice. Yes, I always get a kick out of how Australia is like, you know, the total opposite from us. I was watching one of E-Waste Ben's videos today that he just posted. He was a lean, you know, street scrapping run, and I'm looking around seeing palm trees and everything's all nice and green. I was like, wow, he did that today. But then again, in Australia, I mean, does it really get that cold down there? Do you have like snowfall and stuff, or is it warm enough where you can avoid that?
Yeah, how cold does it actually get in Australia? I suppose it depends on where you are. It's a pretty big country.
Louisville, Texas, from Dan Madalena.
Yes, sir. So, Moose, you had a couple of things that you wanted to talk about tonight, or?
Yeah, I was going to go over.
Talk about
I mean, first and foremost, I wanted to send a thank you out to everyone who helped with the GoFundMe thing for you. You did get that PayPal deposit, right?
Yes, I did, and the computer is right down here. Thank you, everybody. And I did put out a Thanksgiving video thanking each and every person that donated as well. So thank you for that. Excuse me.
All right. So there was a guy who was on the chat that I hopped on, your chat that I hopped on today. There was a guy asking about chemicals for gold processing. Do you remember what his name was?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Give me a few moments. I can find out. Cover me.
All right. Well, in case he tunes in or he watches this, he's just starting out, and he was curious about the acid peroxide method, which, I mean, in my humble and not supremely educated opinion, is probably the best one to start off with. For one thing, the chemicals are easy to access. It's hydrogen peroxide that you can get at any pharmacy. It's usually like the 3%. I know that I get viewers from all over the world who get it in varying percentages, which is fine. If you get hydrogen peroxide that's much more concentrated, just use a little less of it. It's not that big of a deal. And hydrochloric acid, which is almost always found as muriatic acid. Typically it comes in 31.45%, but you can get it in lower percentages. It's fine as well. Once the reaction starts, it almost really doesn't matter. I mean, it'll take a little bit longer, but it's not going to prevent you from freeing the gold from things like gold-plated fingers and stuff like that. So, so those two are the only real chemicals that you need, and you only need one of them. You only need the muriatic acid. If you have an air bubbler or like an old nebulizer, an old CPAP machine, an old fish tank aquarium air bubbler, you can just use that and it'll get enough oxygen in there to start the process going. And as far
all the safety materials that you would need to keep yourself safe, like gloves and eyeglasses and safety glasses and things of that nature as well.
Yep. and all that stuff. Here's a shameless plug for you, although it's not really my store, it's Amazon. In most of my videos, I put a link to Amazon where I've created a storefront, which is, it's not my products, I'm not selling anything, but I've highlighted things that you probably should have, like in this specific storefront. You can find all the safety gear, the goggles, the aprons, the gloves, the respirator, which if you're going to be playing with nitric acid, don't bother with a respirator, because no respirator is really going to block all that stuff out. You really need to be out in a well-ventilated area, but that's a topic for another day. And another thing the guy wanted to know is like where to get these chemicals. Pretty much any hardware store or Walmart. They all have them there. Sometimes you have to do a little label reading. They're not always in where you would expect. Sometimes they're in with a cleaner. Sometimes they're in with like the concrete. HCl, muriatic acid, is often used to clean concrete. So it might be around that section of the hardware store as well. All right.
Good to know.
Hi, Moose. How are you? We are entering summer. Oh, I already read that one. E-Waste Ben is in Melbourne, Australia. I'm in Adelaide, South Australia. We do get a good bit of snowfalls down here. Cool. So we're not alone?
No, we're not.
I spent the last month taking apart a 1988 Aggie EDM machine. It weighs about a ton, and I've got about 60 huge circuit boards to tear apart. Lots of gold on them, lots of gold pins too. Sweet. Yeah, those big machines can be pretty interesting sometimes. Just to see how they're made, and it'd be cool to have you like post some pictures or do a video to show us what it looks like, because I mean stuff like that not a lot of people will ever see in their lifetime.
So what are some of the best ways to get electronics to scrap? Good question.
Well, what's worked best for me is putting up ads on Craigslist and FreeCycle, which is it's a Yahoo group, and they have them for just about every town and state. Just a simple ad. I collect old electronics. I just see you giggling in the corner of the box here.
Oh, I'm giggling because of the follow-up question from Glesh Guitars. How much gold is in a bottle of Goldschlager?
Clash Guitars is here?
Not even a gram.
Clash Guitars is here? Sweet. Dude, I've watched a ton of your videos. They're awesome. Especially that one on magnet fisting. Wow, okay, someone's volume is way up. I'm getting some feedback.
Everything okay?
Everything I say, I hear back in an echo. Like a second and a half later. It just started.
That's it. It just started? That's odd.
All right. Maybe if I talk softer. But anyway, so Clash Guitars. Yeah, that's trippy. Yeah, so that video that you had on magnet fishing, that stream, that was brilliant. I really enjoyed watching that. All right, so did I skip something?
Let's see. Justin stopped by the computer repair shops and asked if they would like you to make pickups. That's actually a really good idea too, Danos. There are a lot of repair shops, especially some of the bigger bigger companies that would be willing to just, they pay to get a lot of that stuff removed, from what I understand, and you could just simply take it all for free. That's incentive enough for them to agree to it.
Have green e-waste cage bins at major shopping centers for people to drop off their e-waste. Yep. A lot of places do that.
Yeah. Australia is very efficient with their recycling. I dare say more efficient than we are in the States.
All right, so everyone else is hearing the echo too. Ruh-roh.
That's weird because I'm not hearing any echo. Is it me echoing or is it Moose Scrapper echoing?
Testing. I think it's me.
My cam might be picking up your voice. The microphone, it might be looping. I'm not sure. But it's weird how it just started, though. Uno momento, por favor. Now I can't hear you at all.
Anybody there?
There you go. Is there still an echo, guys?
All right, how about now? Anybody there? Hello? Testing.
Not anymore, Scrapper. As Crazy Scrapping Kid said. Sweet. Robert Beaver, welcome.
Anybody there?
Good to see you. Billy Keem, it's good to see you as well. Charlie G, it's great to see you. Moose? Talk? Say, ah! Oh, Moose is miming it up right now.
All right. Which of these devices do you want to troubleshoot? Next.
So Patrick says, South Australia has a great recycling system, can scrap everything for cash except glass,
All right.
cardboard products, and green waste.
I still can't hear anyone.
Can you hear me?
Let's see.
Testing. Do you have me muted?
All right, I have lost the ability to hear anything going on here.
Chat.
Are you muted? Nope, I'm not muted. On the Google Hangout, it says mute mic, unmute. So I'm not muted there. And then on the YouTube live thing, it says mute, not unmute. So I'm good there.
Yeah, I'm
Down
not
on
muted.
the options down here.
Can you guys hear me?
Let's see. Yep, that's awesome. See, this is what happens when you use a headset that you found scrapping. Super echo.
Can you hear me? Okay.
I'm going to hang up, and you can re-invite me. I don't think that's the problem. I don't think that's the problem. I think I unplugged my headset, and I think that's what happened. So I'm going to go to
Sorry, guys.
Okay, now go back.
Oh, I think I might have it. I think I might be able to get it. Choose your input.
Can you hear me? Moose? Hello? Moose? Hello?
All right. Choose your input. Blah, 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 blah.
Yes, no, yes, no.
Choose your input. Still nothing? Yeah. All right. So
So John says he can hear me, or they can hear me. And I think they can hear you too. We just can't hear each other on Google Hangouts.
yes, sir.
Hi, Moose. How are you?
Fine. Now that I can actually hear someone.
I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want to restart the stream, or do you think we could work this way?
It'd probably be easier to restart the stream, I think.
Okay, completely up to you.
All right, so I'm going to stop the broadcast.